What page is that?
It's right before this chapter started. Right before chapter 7 is the unit review. So Lily, Allison, Maddie, unit review. Then I need the scriptures or 10 examples from Ryder and Maddie. And the flip grid from Ryder, Lily, Allison, Christian, and Ewan.
What flip grid?
Where you're supposed to tell me what? Who can tell her?
3 gifts God gave you.
What are 3 gifts that God gave you? And some of you could get more points because some of you forgot to say what?
What you use them.
What do you use them for? How do you use them for God's glory? So some of you just named 3 gifts. You have to say how you use them for God's glory. Okay? So again, those are easy points for what? So is everybody done with this worksheet? Review? Take them out. You've been claiming this pen? Cars.com. You guys should be thinking about cars. Maybe the Disney movie Cars.
Love it.
Well, you need to go out till you're done, or else you can get the count wrong. Okay. Number 1. Guys like the vacuum cleaner in the background? I know. How many do that at home? Only 3 people. Vacuum at home?
So you like left it running.
Left it running?
That's what I thought you meant. It's like the
Or you got one of those robot ones? How many have a robot one? Well, look, I have to push the button. We got a robot one too, but it just sits, doesn't work. So it's dealing with Mr. Hale's pet peeve, which is what?
Not working.
Clutter. Clutter, right, more clutter. What is a special place? Prayer form in honor of Mary. The Rosary, eh? Mary's visit to her cousin is known as? See the Visitation. The Nativity refers to?
A,
the birth of Jesus. What's another term for that?
the Annunciation.
No.
Nativity?
Well, that's what they,
Oh.
incarnation. So you might write that, see, because you'll probably see that on the test, can't you? 4, Jesus is called the substantial image of the Father because? Okay, D. So if we want to see Jesus, if we want to see God the Father, we look at who? Jesus. Number 5. Disciples of Jesus were first called the followers of the blank. Emily. Nope. What'd you say? C? Yes. Which is what? That's the way to go. Way to go. Number 6. Disciples learn about God through the words and actions. Jesus is the Avery. Mediators. 8. Jesus has 2 natures. 9. Being fully human. And 10. Process by accepting Jesus' invitation to believe. Discipleship. Okay, 10 points. Ryder?
I got all of them.
Bella?
No, the 10.
Avery?
10 out of 10.
Lily?
8 out of 10.
Ben?
8 out of 10.
Allison?
8 out of 10.
Chase? Oh, Chase. How you doing? I'll look at yours online. I think I saw it yesterday and forgot to grade it. Lucy?
10 out of 10.
Grayson?
9 out of 10.
Gianna?
9 out of 10.
Andrew?
9 out of 10.
Michaela? Or no, Mikey?
9 out of 10.
Joey? Clara?
8 out of 10.
8? Is Christian quarantined? You guys know?
No, no. 10.
Ewan? Not done. Emily?
8 out of 10.
Greta?
10 out of 10.
Lewis?
9 out of 10.
Did we get the right answers written? Ewan, why aren't you doing it? Are you done? Well, then why don't you come in? Ewan, come back.
In that list.
Read off from Joey's. This is Joey's and Andrew's and Avery.
Yeah.
Who's the saint from this chapter? How many read about the saint? Okay, let's all turn to 140. Let's read about the saint. Whose feast day is it today?
No.
Saint Hilary. Stand up if you think that's a guy.
Oh wait, is this?
Stand up if you think it's a girl.
It's gonna be.
No, it's probably not.
It's either one or the other, you can't.
St. Michael's an angel.
Saint Hilary, is he an angel? Stand up if you think he's an angel.
Wait, saints don't turn into angels.
St. Michael wasn't always an
He is a guy.
I knew it.
Yeah, of course he is a guy.
I knew it.
Saint Hilary of Poitiers.
He.
Well, we want to read about Saint Maximilian Kolbe today. When Raymond Colby became a priest, he changed his name to Maximilian Maria in honor of Mary. During World War II, he provided shelter for those fleeing from the Nazis, including 2,000 Jews. In 1941, he was arrested by the Nazis and taken to the death camp of Auschwitz. We'll be learning about in social studies. What's a death camp?
Where they pretty much just go to like a jail almost and do stuff and then end up getting killed.
The whole point of this camp was to exterminate them, to kill them, to wipe them out. Versus, you know what the other kind of camps were called?
Concentration camps?
Well, Auschwitz is all of them are called concentration camps. But there were death camps and then there were work camps. So you didn't want to go to Auschwitz. While he was there, the Nazis decided to starve some prisoners to death as a punishment, and he offered to take the place of a man who had a wife and children. The man whose life he saved was present at the ceremony of his canonization in 1982. This feast day is celebrated on August 14th. Why would they put him in this chapter? What does this chapter have to do with? Boy, I'm really feeling like a terrible teacher. Nobody even knows what the chapter has to do with. Joey?
He chose saving Mary instead of like letting him die and him dying.
So what does this chapter have to do with?
He chose that way.
Yeah, but what does this chapter have to do with? I don't know, Mr. Hale, it's all religion to me, it just all runs together and it doesn't have any topics or whatever. Is that what I'm hearing? Stand up if that's what you do, that's what you think. Stand up if you know what the topic of this chapter is. You guys are like doing the to tell the truth show. Do I stand up or not? You can give the standard answer. What's the standard answer to all religion questions?
Do not know God is not.
He trusted God.
Jesus is the answer, right?
Mhm.
So if you answered Jesus on this, you'd probably what?
Get it right.
Probably get it right. Because this really is about Jesus, right? But it's about Jesus. Specifically, what about Jesus?
The way.
What's that mean, the way?
The way.
Path.
Don't you know the way?
What's that mean, the way?
How he chose to live.
So he's giving us the what?
The way. Wait, the way, the truth, and the life.
I want you all to go to my house after school today.
Yay.
Okay.
I want to see that.
He's gonna give us the way.
That's all I did. How many would make it?
Oh, no.
Do you know the way?
How many could make it to my house?
If I can make it back by 7,
You're
then
just
sure.
circling apples.
If I can make it back
Oh, yeah.
to by 7, then sure, yeah.
You know how many people live in Minneapolis?
Nope.
A lot.
17,000. No, not 17,000.
Too many.
No, there's 21,000. 30,000.
Too many.
No, there's more than that. It's like,
50,000.
there's 70 something.
There's 400,000 people that live in Minneapolis.
I'll just,
Does
I'll
the
just, I'll just
street
search for it.
start with an M?
My street name starts with an M?
Does it? So we
No.
can, A?
So the point I'm trying to show you is that what?
You don't know the way.
I do not know the way.
He knows the way.
There's no way you can know the way,
I don't know the way to
because
your
you
house.
never got what?
Directions.
Directions. Jesus is the way, because why?
These directions.
These are directions. Except we're not trying to get to Mr. L's house, where we're trying to get?
Heaven.
To heaven. He's the way to heaven. That's what really is, sums up what this chapter is about. He's the way to heaven. And then his life then is a picture of what our life should look like, right? Because if we're gonna follow him, what's the term for that? Quicksand, oh, how many want an indicator? Or a review right now?
I want an indicator.
You all want an indicator?
No.
No.
Then you shouldn't be raising your hand. Who wants an indicator? Okay, no indicator. So it's quick as saying, whenever I ask a question, if you get the question right, and I call on you, you get a point. Did I ask a question? I was in the middle of asking a question and then I interrupted myself.
Well, I have a question, but I'm not gonna raise my hand. Can we use our book?
Can you use your book to study tonight? Sure, do that. Can you use your book on the test? No.
Okay. For now? Like for the quickest hand thing?
For the quickest hand thing, how many want to be able to use your book for the quickest hand thing?
I mean, it might be too slow.
Yeah, that'll bump it.
Okay, guess you can.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Jesus is showing us the way. And if we are following the way, what are we?
Disciples.
Disciples. If we were reading the mass readings for today, so what time period are we in right now?
Ordinary time.
Ordinary time. How many days are we into ordinary time?
3.
3 days. This is the 3rd day of ordinary time. If it's ordinary time, that means the mass readings, you can pretty much follow along. You know where they start. It came from the same gospel. Who knows what the gospel is now in ordinary time?
Luke. Mark.
Mark. During the day, during the days, okay? On Sundays, they have a different gospel. Where's the gospel come from on Sunday?
John.
John. Well, it looks like some will come on Mark. Maybe it is Mark. It is Mark. It's Mark all the way through. So I was wrong and everybody else was wrong. So no point.
I said Matthew.
Now, getting back to my point I was trying to make, if we're reading the Gospels from Mark and the first, anybody know where the first reading comes from?
Matthew. Mark.
First reading, not a gospel. First reading.
Colossians.
Acts.
I was gonna give a hint here for everybody
Philippines.
else. If you answered, you're out for this question.
Philippines.
The Old Testament.
It's another name for the chosen people.
Oh,
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
Mhm.
Can we,
Can I answer?
go?
Anyone else? They're the Hebrews, so it's a reading from the Hebrews, okay? The Hebrews, reading from the Hebrews, if you were listening to the readings this week, or following along in the readings. And you can, because you can get one of these books right here. How many have seen these before? How many have one? You have one, Gianna?
No, I don't have one, my family does.
Your family does? How many of your family has one? So you can find them, or you can just Google mass readings of the day, and they will give you the mass readings. But if we're gonna follow it, it's really talking about this, what this chapter is about. Who Jesus is to us. Somebody put on a worksheet, Jesus was half this and half that. And I corrected him and said, no, he's fully what? And fully what?
Fully human and fully God.
Fully human and fully
God.
God. What's another word to say he's fully God?
Divine.
Divine. So you could say either way. What does that actually mean?
He's 200%. These two different natures.
He has two different natures, but he's fully those natures. That means every temptation that you've ever faced and ever will face, what? What's that mean?
He faced it.
He faced it. Well, what's the difference?
You're human.
He was human, fully human.
Fully human only.
And because we're fully human only, what?
We are kind of.
What happens with those temptations?
They come to life.
They turn into sins.
They turn into sins. We fail. He never failed. So if we're gonna look for a solution to not fail, what's our solution?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus is our solution, right?
Don't try,
What is the mystery of the rosary in this chapter?
Joyful.
Joyful.
You got it in before yours.
Despair.
I don't have to go to hell because of this role by Jesus.
The crucifixion.
The role,
Um,
they're different, like the name, the title,
Savior.
from this chapter.
delay.
Sacrifice.
I know what it is.
Mediator.
Meditate. I thought it was meditative.
So, this is the way it looks, okay? I'll just ask the question versus draw, because you know how Mr. Hill draws. What is the picture you would get of Jesus being a mediator? What would be the object you would draw? Ben,
A bridge.
a bridge. Why would that be the object?
His sacrifice that makes reconciliation possible.
But why a bridge?
He's bringing us closer to God.
You're close.
Helps us connect with God.
Why do we need to be connected?
Oh. Because he's showing us the way to God.
Why do we need to know the way?
To go to heaven.
What?
To go to heaven.
Well,
to cross the bridge from life over into heaven.
The bridge from life over into heaven, so we're missing the big part. So let me do my drawing since you guys, here's our drawing. Got a big cliff here, got a big cliff here.
Life in heaven.
This is God. This is us. Why is there this big gap between God and us?
Because we're
What's here in the gap?
The bridge, because we don't know the way.
No, the bridge comes over and connects the gap, right? Why is there this gap?
The bridge. Oh no, I have a different one. Because we're not close enough to God yet.
Why? What caused the gap? There's too many. We already used our whole time.
Yeah.
I know the answer.
3-letter word. Sin caused the gap. Did you raise your hand?
My hand was literally right the entire time.
Jesus is the bridge. We have to walk across the bridge. But whose choice is it?
Yours.
Our choice. He's showing us the way, but it's what? Our choice.
If we go to sin, we go to hate you double.
So, in your planners, write study for chapter 7 test. That's Friday.
What did you say?
I got 2 points. I think so. I
I
don't
got like
know.
I told him wrong, I thought,
Okay, maybe I got 4 graders.
yeah. Oh, hi, it's like people.
Somebody press the button on the